After a surprisingly short 6-hour flight from Heathrow, we landed in Halifax, Nova Scotia. An hour's bus ride brought us into the city, and we spent a couple of days staying at a hotel, sorting out the customs clearance and generally unwinding. The hotel was called the Barrington, very nicely situated to access the waterfront. We had breakfast both mornings in the attached cafe Tempo, where we met Lisa. Lisa gave us loads of lovely tips about places to go and see. Thanks, Lisa. The boardwalk in Halifax is very pretty and would be bustling with activity later in the year when everything's open. This was the middle of March and it's still pretty cool here, with temperatures hovering around freezing. We enjoyed a beer at the Garrison Brewing Company and lunch at the waterfront warehouse. The next day we took a taxi to the port to collect our van, which had shared the journey over with some little tanks and a helicopter. How cool's that? We've got the van! Yay!
Here we are,
yes.
Back at the wheel.
Oh, our lovely van Alan has had a safe journey. Flat battery was the only thing, but that was pretty much to be expected really. And yeah, otherwise he's in one piece and we're very pleased to be reunited with him. And so here we go then, this is where the adventure really begins.
Fabulous, really good. See you later. Our first real experience of Canadian scenery was on the way to visit my cousin and his family. They live half an hour outside Halifax, and we spent a couple of days with them exploring some of the beautiful places right on their doorstep. What a fabulous place to call home. We visited the very famous Peggy's Cove with its much photographed lighthouse, and here we also experienced the changeable weather here in the Maritimes when the fog rolled in from the ocean and gave the place an eerie atmosphere. It was very beautiful though, and even this early in the year it was pretty busy. Get here early if you're here in the summer, and be careful on those scary rocks. Visited Lunenburg, which is also super picturesque and has been the setting for many a movie and TV show. There we said goodbye to Owen and Janelle. Thanks guys for your hospitality. It was great to see you and spend some time again. Let's hope we don't leave it too long until next time. Now we're leaving Lunenburg and starting to explore Nova Scotia on our own.
lighthouse. Cute. It really is tiny, isn't it?
Yes. Excuse my slightly slurred voice, but it's only about 2 degrees C and we're a little bit chilly. We're here in Annapolis, which is on the south west coast of Nova Scotia, and this was a surprise being here because yesterday when we left Liverpool to cross Nova Scotia we were going to visit the Cejim National Park, but when we got there we found that the road that we were going down was very, very muddy. We very nearly got stuck, so we just carried on back down to the coast, and we ended up here, and we had no idea what to expect. But we find ourselves, the van parked just over there in a really cool parking place, and then up here, we're standing on the old wharf that was for this fort, because in fact this place here is a fort which is a very, very historically significant place. We'll talk later about some of the real details, but it's the very, very first historic site in Canada that was established in 1917.
When he said Liverpool, he meant Liverpool, Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
Because we've already left we left Liverpool with the van, but now we were in Liverpool, Nova Scotia, which actually has a Mersey River.
Yeah,
amazing.
And right across the middle of Nova Scotia, from that national park that I mentioned, where there's all these lakes, the river that links them and goes down to the coast is the Mersey River.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Who knew? Amazing. On December the 8th, 1755, 1,664 Acadian families were deported from here. They were shipped out to other places. Thankfully, some of them actually managed to take hold of their ships. One was called the Pembroke, and others escaped the tyranny and managed to live with the local people of the time, the Micmacs. None of the Acadians who'd been deported or chased from Port Royal region returned here permanently. Most settled in Quebec, which we know is obviously the French-speaking province of Canada. Some came back to Acadie and settled in St Mary's Bay and Sainte-Anne-du-Roussillon, while others settled in Louisiana. We are standing in one of the most fought over pieces of land in Canada. Fort Anne was a key battleground in the struggle amongst the British, Micmac and French. While the British and French battled to control the area, the Micmac sought to maintain their communities and livelihoods. More than a dozen battles were waged here in the 17th and 18th centuries, and the fort changed hands between the French and British 7 times. In 1710, after the siege of Port Royal, the French surrendered the fort to the British for the last time, but there was one more handover. In 1883, Britain turned the grounds over to Canada, and this became Canada's First Nation historic site in 1917. Unfortunately, this is actually closed for the season. I think it opens probably on Victoria Day, when it seems everything opens up in Canada, campgrounds and sites and things. So, but we're perfectly allowed to be in the grounds and have a look around, which is really nice. And so that we can get a better look of the whole of the site, Ben's going to try and put the drone up later, wind permitting, to get a better look of the whole site. And you'll be able to see the pointy, I think that Ben calls them bastions. I'm sure he's right, pointy bastions. So this small building here, built into the ground, it's dated 1708, is actually a powder magazine, so it's where they stored their ammunitions to try and keep it dry. There are several ventilation features around the building. It's a Vauban fort, which means it's of low profile. so it doesn't rest high in the landscape. It makes use of glacis, which are long sloping earthworks that deflect or absorb cannon fire and expose approaching attackers. Another key feature is the bastions. Bastions are the angular structures projecting from the walls that create areas of crossfire. They make it easy to defend the land around the fort, and we're standing on the south bastion at the moment. The fort is very well situated. This is the Annapolis River here. It leads out to the Bay of Fundy and then out into the open ocean. So it's in a great spot here to defend the land.
Right, we're going to go off now. We've had a little smell in the air of a bacon sandwich, so we're going to see if we can track that down. Just as we leave though, this building, I don't know why it's got such unfeasibly large chimneys. Any ideas? We can highly recommend the Annapolis Brewing Company for some very nice beer, which we sampled last night.
Great night, parked up in Annapolis Royal, beautiful little town. Enjoyed very much staying there. Woke up to the sunshine this morning, and now we're off to Digby Neck and Island.
Oh, we're here at Digby Marina, which is just down the coast here in Nova Scotia. I'll just turn the camera around to show you the little snag we've got. So here's the van, and we've used iOverlander to try and find water for the van. It's always one of the challenges about topping up water, and we've located this lovely tap, which unfortunately doesn't have any water in it. So that's one of the problems with travelling out of season, that finding water to top up the tank is a bit of a challenge. So we're on to the next one now. We'll see if we've got any there. We have had some success at fuel stations, and we had a spring in a town which had a well, and we're able to fill up using bottles. Just takes a bit longer because you have to, shuttle the water. But just while we're here, I just thought I'd point out one thing which is quite interesting about Canada in comparison to the rest of the travelling we've done in Europe. Oh, look at this. This is just a normal car park, and our van pretty much fits in the parking space. Now, this van normally in a parking place around Europe would take probably 4 parking places, but look at that. Okay, don't look at how straight I haven't parked, but isn't that incredible? Just a normal parking place is big enough for a 7-metre long Sprinter van. And it's not the only thing that's huge around here. Look at this truck I parked next to earlier. Now, as with all these fishing places along the coastline, pretty much in every country you get memorials to the fishermen. Dangerous game, that, going out to sea to catch our food for us. But what a lovely view. Look at that. So this is the port of Digby, with its view out of this estuary. The continuing water saga. So here's the van, and this is the next water location that's shown on iOverlander. This would be quite good, but again, there is no water in the tap. So on to the next place, wherever that might be. Right, then the hunt for water kind of continues, but we've found some. So not the most conventional method, but we found this little spring, and we were advised to come here by a lady at a campground, whose campground is all closed now, and she said all the locals come and fill up the water bottles here. It's the best water in town, so we're filling it out of these bottles into the van like this, and it is so far a bit difficult one-handed, but there you go. We are able to fill our water that way with, I don't know, maybe it would take about 30 of these bottles to fill the tank fully, but there you go. It is a lot easier when you've got two hands, so it's going a bit more slowly right now, but there you go, you see, in it goes. Here's Sarah with two more. So join us again in about 20 minutes when we've filled up the whole tank. And just in case you're worried about our health with this sort of water, we do have some of this stuff, MicroPure, which is a silver and high sodium hypochlorite solution. You put just 10 millilitres of this in 100 litres of water.
Sounds delicious.
And they promise us that it's perfectly safe to drink. So there we are, full with all those jugs of spring water. And one thing also that I forgot to mention is that we've also got a filter on our water system, which is kind of like hospital grade filtration, so they say. So we're pretty confident we're going to be fine. If you don't hear any more videos from us anymore, then you'll know that the water wasn't fine. Well, we've filled up with water from that spring, and then we decided we'd carry on around the coast road up here. So using our navigation maps, we decided to avoid the main road and come up here. So just have a look at the road. And we got as far as the top of this hill, and there was a big sign saying no road maintenance past this point, proceed at your own risk. And the road was just masses of ruts and soft mud. So we've turned back around again, and we're now going back down, and we'll take the original option of going up the main road. We really don't want to be getting stuck, and the top of here was really, really bad. So here we go. But also that beautiful sunny weather, there's a fog bank rolling in by the looks of it. As I just change down into first gear to get some engine braking for this, because this is a really, camera probably doesn't show it, but this is a really steep hill, and it's muddy and rutty, and without using the engine braking we'll have no brakes by the time we get to the bottom of this. I don't particularly fancy ending up in that crash barrier at the side down there. Yeah, so as I was saying, there's a fog bank rolling in, so I think this beautiful sunny weather may be short-lived for the rest of the afternoon today.
Yep, clear my way.
Okay. Off we go then, back on the main road. Oh, that was a cool day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Started off in Liverpool.
Where did we start off?
What a cool day.
Yes.
Started off at Annapolis Royal.
Yeah.
Found that fort that we didn't even know was there.
Yeah, that was really good,
cool.
wasn't it?
And then we've had a bit of a search for water.
Oh my goodness. I hope that doesn't continue.
Yes, I hope so
that gets
too.
better as we go. I know it will be better when we hit May.
Yes.
Because everything starts to open up.
Once the campgrounds are open and everything.
And those taps that you find in the parks and things like that.
Yep.
Yes.
But now, so having driven down the length of this peninsula from Digby, we've now parked up, and I hope the wind's not too strong. We've parked up at this spot on the Bay of Fundy side of the peninsula, where the fog is out there threatening to roll in, but it's still a beautiful afternoon, isn't it?
It is.
And I think we're going to leave you here for today.
I think so. At this wrecked pier, or whatever it is.
Yeah, I think this once was where the ships would come in, but it's seen much better days.
Yeah, it's obviously quite wild.
Yeah,
I
quite
think here.
fierce weather comes in. So we camped here for tonight, and we will continue our journey up north, up the side of the Bay of Fundy, and hopefully have a fabulous place to see tomorrow.
Yeah.
So thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Don't forget, subscribe and all that stuff.
Like, click, subscribe.
That's the stuff.
And we'll see you on the next one.
See you next time. Bye now.